Welcome to Troupe on the Ground. Today we have a special guest host, Clark Troupe, interviewing TBLA Board President Eve Gomez.
My name is Eve Gomez, and I'm a community leader in the region and beyond, and I'm an interpreter, entrepreneur, mentor, and advocate. And it's not really about me, but it's about what I have in my heart for the youth as an educator by default, as I mentioned in many interviews. And so I am currently the school board president, been sitting on the board since 2016. It gives me great pleasure that I'm here to help improve the quality of education and life.
Ms. Gomez, welcome to the interview.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you here, finally.
Yeah, finally, right?
Yeah.
After several months, it's good to be here with you.
So we'll just get right into it. So let's start with your background. What high school did you attend?
I went to Andrean High School in Maryville.
I have friends that went there.
Yeah, no, it's a good school, but I'm not there to applaud them anymore. I'm here to applaud TBLA.
What college did you attend? What was your major?
My major was business management, and I attended Robert Morris Business College and then Phoenix College as well.
All right. Have you ever worked in an educational institute prior to becoming a board member?
Not work, because what I do is a ministry. I've been involved with the higher ed for many years, dealing with schools at different levels. I'm not a teacher, but I always say I'm an educator by default. Being involved with K through 12 in different cities, different counties, volunteering, and working with all the higher ed, the local universities. So I consider myself as having that experience, not necessarily as a teacher, but being there to motivate, to inspire, advocate, and mentor.
Okay. So why did you choose to join our board?
Well, that's a good question. To say that I chose the board, it was actually the board chose me. If you give me a few minutes, I'll just explain a little how that happened. Back in 2016, I've been sitting on boards dealing with education and educational programs, but on a school board, this was my first one because the school board that was leaving back in 2016 thought I would be a good fit because of all the work that I'd done in the community and being involved with students of all grades, that I would come in and bring the skills that I have to the school. So then the board elected me to be a board member.
All right. So let's get into the expansion. So what is the timeline for the expansion?
First of all, you should be excited about the expansion. Was that song says, I'm so excited and I cannot hide it. I'm excited about the expansion. As a matter of fact, we met recently, as a matter of fact today, with Mecca to get that more understanding of where we are because of the weather. The rain's not lighting up, so that can actually delay some of their work. But we're looking at the first 3 phases, which would be the end of September. Obviously, if the weather permits it, right, and the permits that are needed from the city and things like that. So those are factors that can give us a better idea of when we can finish those projects.
All right. So the expansion is supposed to include a clinic. Mm-hmm. There are many clinics in Gary, and there's also a hospital, one of the best trauma centers in the region. So why do you think that we need a clinic?
Actually, this clinic would engage the community. You may or may not know that I was raised in Gary, Indiana. This was the first city I came to from my country, Mexico. So I breathe Gary, I live Gary, and I know Gary. And we've had food deserts here. We've seen grocery stores close. The same thing with healthcare. You may or may not see that it's somewhat of a desert on this side of Gary, going towards Klein. We don't see much of that, and I know that what's happening in all the schools, that they're actually adopting a clinic and building it in their schools because it only makes sense, especially when you want to bring community to the school. You're opening the availability, and it will increase attendance as well. For the athletes, it's right there to get their physical, their vaccinations. They don't have to miss school, teaching time. So to me, I think it's a great fit.
All right. So let's move to safety. How important do you believe safety is?
Very important. If you don't know, young man, when I started to be on the school back in 2016 as a school board member. The first thing I went around and looked in both buildings, because you know we had the elementary school in another building at Holy Angels, was to look at for safety flaws. I'm not necessarily talking about human beings, but the building structure, the safety of the water, the locks, the alarms, all of that I looked into to make sure that our students were safe. So to me, it's a priority, and safety is not just about having officers, security officers. You know what I mean? It's not always about the human beings, but safety as to what we have in the hallways and in the stairwells. I mean, safety is looked around in so many different ways, cameras, whatever is needed to make sure that our kids are safe in a cafeteria. I mean, I'm always looking for new ways to bring and not just me, but my rest of my colleagues aboard to make sure we bring in the tools that are needed and not always to have more bodies, because more doesn't mean better. With technology that we have here nowadays, we're looking to see if we can add those things to also supplement besides the securities that we have.
All right. So the number of school shootings has doubled over the past 5 years. So with this and other factors, why did the board choose to decrease our number of security personnel?
Well, it's not so much that we chose to decrease. We just looked at a different avenue, one to have internal security versus having a third party. It was a financial decision to do, and we did our study, we did our work in looking at other schools and what they had, how many officers versus how many students they had. So we also used those factors to make that decision. Believe me, it's not an easy decision to make, but it also made a financial benefit, if you will, and not to say that safety over production is better, meaning your safety is more in danger for us not wanting to spend money. That wasn't even the case. So with that, quality comes in play, hoping that the officers that we currently have will do what they need to do to keep everybody safe, but it's a team effort. The teachers, the administration, and security, we all need to make sure that we keep everyone safe, look at every avenue to keep you safe.
All right, so will the number of security personnel increase as the expansion progresses?
That all depends. I know that with the two-story building addition to the building will not necessarily increase the numbers. As you know, we have those portables outside. So those are the classrooms that we're going to be building. The 8 that we have outside will actually be that two-story building. So that's a good question. We'll see what happens in the future.
All right. Let's talk about the change in the authorizer. So the board did decide to find a new authorizer. Why was this decision made?
Different factors. They're local, not to say that they're better than one or another. They're local. We have built relationships with the local universities. We started working with them since last year in March. Although there's things that we cannot share as we're working through a process until it's okay to do so. So in having the relationships that we currently have, we as the board has with the local universities, I think it makes a fit, if you will. I'm not saying anything negative that one authorizer is better than the other. It's just the fact that the relationships we have currently with them here, and they're right here in our own backyard, they're local. We'll see how that goes.
All right. I believe you already answered this question with what you just said, but why was Calumet College of St. Joseph chosen as the new authorizer?
Well,
all the colleges.
Not all colleges can be authorizers. And we all learn when we do research to find out what colleges do authorize charters. And so I was surprised to find out that Calumet College, one of the schools that I've worked with and partnered with and know the president very well in what she does for the school. It's not because we chose one college or another, it's who you have available and look to see if there's a good fit. Right?
Yeah. So do you think the negative media attention hindered the board's attempts at transparency?
I don't believe so, but right now I will tell you that I can't say much on it because we are currently in litigation and we have to abide with what we have going on, a temporary restraining order, so that we continue to keep amicable in whatever we need to do moving forward. Yeah.
Do you think that the negative media attention hindered the board's attempts to inform parents and the public that Thea Bowman leadership would not close?
I don't believe so. I mean, the media is going to write what they want, and the reader will actually think the way they want to. They will take it upon their own opinion of what they think. Not necessarily it means that's the truth. I'm in media personally, so what I report, I prefer to report what I know to be true and not what I will report to make myself look better.
All right. Do you think that the board would benefit by adding someone with extensive experience in the educational field?
Most definitely. That's a very good question. As a matter of fact, we're still in search. I don't know if you knew, several months ago, we actually brought in two amazing individuals, and Prosecutor Bernard Carter has an extensive background in education, right? And so has the other former board. Obviously, because of their obligations, made it very hard to even stay on board as long as they did. I mean, I was happy that they chose to be part of the board, but they would bring a lot of strength, background, especially when it comes to safety for our youth and community. So yes, definitely. We're still looking for more board members, yes.
Okay, so we just talked about adding board members. Do you think that the board would benefit if they were to replace some current members?
Currently, I don't know if you've watched how the boards have changed from when we came on board 2016. Then we added two, several were replaced. Unfortunately, we lost one of our dear board members. May he rest in peace, Attorney Tony Walker. He played a great part in the new authorizer that when we got in 2016. Not necessarily to replace, because this has been the most active and involved board that we've had since I've been here.
So many districts across the nation have student representatives or advisory panels that work with their boards. Would the school benefit if a student representative were added to the board, or if a student advisory panel was created?
That, whoever thought of that question, I like. Because I like seeing our youth coming to our board meetings. Several of our youth leaders have come and attended. I believe your brother is one that I can speak highly of, that he's at almost every board meeting to either give knowledge or get knowledge. But what I'd like to see is have them more engaged and report to us of the great things or the things that they feel that they may need to strengthen their education. We're open to those ideas. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about leadership. Do you believe there's a lack of leadership at Thea Bowman, and if so, why?
Not so much a lack of leadership, because there's always room for improvement in all of us. Mm-hmm. I can't sit here and tell you I know everything, but there's always something that I can learn new today. And as long as we have the tools that we need to continue to increase the leadership, I think we're going to be off to a greater direction.
Thank you for the interview. It was very informational. I learned a lot. You share with us a lot of things that I think is great that we heard.
Yeah, no, and let's just continue to stay positive and continue to cheer yourselves up and know that we're moving into a direction that's going to help all of our scholars. The board is fighting for it to make sure that we stay in the direction that we're moving, and it's all for the greater good of all of you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.